think if I was to put a word on it, I would say that we're like an ecosystem now, where everybody can come and interact with each other. Apple's product, they make iPhones. Then they have the Apple Store where they sell their iPhones. And really their product is not the store, the product is the phone. They use the store as a way to display it and talk about it and help people think about it properly. Our front ends, we think are great, but they're a way to visualize really what I think is our product, which is the network and the infrastructure and the connectivity that we can provide to everybody else. We've kind of become this place where everybody comes to get back together with each other. We see this from the exchanges wanting to partner with us, the brokers, the ISVs, the trading firms, the institutions, because they can come to CQG and they can access that entire ecosystem in one place.
What is the benefit of your partnership with Robinhood?
Well, it puts us up at the top of the retail market with having somebody like Robinhood that, they're just known for their retail business. We've done business with the Schwabs and TD Ameritrades, and some of those relationships have fallen over into Robinhood. JB McKenzie, now with Robinhood, is in charge of starting up the futures part of the business, and that's why he came to us, because he's done business with us in the past. He knows we can do what he needed, present the pipes to go anywhere they want for the business. And we think it's a great opportunity for us, and we're happy that Robinhood joined us.
The thing that we do really, really well is offer this infrastructure out to people. Robinhood's allowing us to do that, to free up their time to do the things that they do really, really well, which is how they distribute their stuff, the actual user interfaces. And so I think the idea is to allow us to do the stuff that we do to free them up so that they can do the things that they do well. And so that's kind of the genesis of the partnership.
What is your new project in the crypto space?
There's risk in crypto. And so we had to partner with the right firms that we felt like represent the values of CQG, the values of our industry. And so as we were talking to Blockfills, there were some things that stood out about them. So from a product perspective, the hope is that you've got people that are trading the derivatives on crypto, and then this gives them like spreading and arbing opportunities within their products, which are like CFDs, cash forwards, that kind of stuff. But the things that stood out to us about Blockfills was getting into like the safety and trust side of them. So they're FCA regulated. They offer innovative products, but they do it in a way that I think people can feel safe. They can offer both European, US customers as long as they qualify. So there was just kind of this element of as the institutional world adopts more in the crypto space, they're going to look for companies like Blockfills. And we're actually getting requests from our customers saying, hey, we need more ways to trade than just the listed derivatives products. So we want to play in that world, but we want to do it in a way that still stays true to our values as a company, and specifically around trust and safety and all those things. And I think Blockfills was the right partner for us to take this step forward.
What drove your shift from a software provider to an infrastructure provider?
I think we've become a solution provider more than anything else, not just the front ends. In fact, the growth of our API business especially really put us on the maps. For anybody out there that has created their own front end and they want to connect to our pipes, going back to the Robinhoods or whoever, we've had so much growth from that. That's really pushed us along. But be it that it's just not about trading. It's just not about the front end. It's the stuff behind it. We've always been known for our risk, that we have one of the best risk platforms out there. And in getting into the other areas of not just futures and options, but if it's crypto, we're getting more and more into the options in all kinds of different ways. The algos, bringing Mr. Darby over to Kevin to help us with that stuff. You have to evolve, though. You have to be flexible in this day and age. There's really only 3 of us, in all reality, that are out there, where there used to be probably 40. But they're all gone. We've been around since 1981, and we plan on being around a lot longer.
If you think of CQG's business, a lot of times people thought of us as a product company, a trading software company. All these exchanges that we connect to, all these FCMs and brokers, there's a lot of different ISVs like Robinhoods, whatever else that use our system. There's trading firms. And so I think kind of the industry has allowed us to kind of play this role to bring everybody back together, right? If you think of, 20 years ago, everybody in the industry was in the same room together, and then we all kind of went our own ways. And so we're trying to kind of play this role where we bring everybody back together into one place. And so our front ends are a way that we demonstrate the product of CQG. But I think the product of CQG is the infrastructure and the network and the risk and the tools And then also just this idea of bringing everybody back together where they can interact with each other. And I think that's one of the things we've tried to do.
And we started out that way, CQG did, as being a hosted solution where nobody else had it. I can remember back at Pat Systems where I'd be wheeling, machines down a hallway from one office to another office. They wanted to set up their own infrastructure. Everybody wanted their own because they wanted to be in control of it. Nowadays, they're like, costs way too much money for all that equipment. And way too much money to hire all the people to take care of it. Doing the hosted way, what CQG really started, was the way really for the future.
What is CQG doing with AI?
I think like the operational side, the things that we do today, how do we just do them more efficiently? And this gets into support, operations, cybersecurity, just making sure that stuff is as efficient as possible. Then there's the stuff that's core to our business. So people think of CQG, we're like the godfather of charts, technical analytics, all that kind of stuff. And really what that is using data from the past to kind of give you an indication of what's going to happen next. Like that's what charting and analytics is. And so then there was the things we need to do because we are CQG. And so how do you build a product that's kind of core to our mission in that area, which was kind of this predictive analytics? Can we look at what's happened to predict what's going to happen next? And so we've built a series of AI tools that we've integrated into other parts of CQG that give some predictive value of, okay, this has happened in the past. What is the likelihood that S&Ps are going to tick up, down in the next moment? And so we have some predictive stuff there. And then there's the final piece, which is how do we move CQG and the industry forward? And that's the hard stuff because you have to think a little bit outside the box. Like what was not possible a few years ago that is possible now. So we have almost like an incubation R&D lab on kind of new things. And it's really the idea is to build new things, to do them quickly, see if they work or not. And if they do, then we can find ways to bring them back into CQG and make them bulletproof and resilient and everything else.
What new innovations will we see this year?
One of the things that people love about CQG is our tools around risk, which has predominantly been pre-trade risk tools. And so I think over the next year, we're focusing a little bit more on the other side of the life cycle, the post-trade risk. This is, again, kind of responding to demand from our customers and this idea of an ecosystem where people are saying, if we come in here, there's a part of our workflow that we're looking for CQG to help us out with. And it's mostly around post-trade risk tools. So, we talk about partnerships with Robinhood and block fills. Like partnerships is the primary way that we kind of go to market these days. And so I think you'll see some new partnerships in the post-trade risk world. As part of that, there will be things that we're building to contribute to those relationships and those partnerships. So I think that'll be one thing you'll see significantly as the year goes on.